Okay, so this is the 1212 portal reading, intuitive reading. And it's, I'm going to use some cards and also the runes, but it's also, there's a huge intuitive component in this, as there always is. But in this particular case, there's things that have happened throughout the week, not just at this exact moment. So I'm kind of pooling all that together. And if you've missed other things that I've posted, this does kind of encapsulate everything that's been going on. So one of the things that popped up this week, every Thursday I do the card of the week. And this week it was the star. The star is also representational of Aquarius. It's often the water bearer. In this particular case, in these cards, it's the what is this called? It's the Aquarian deck, actually, and it's this bird. It's this pheasant or peacock, and I don't remember all the details. I was trying to tell people in my class too that I can't really remember the story of Aquarius in Greek mythology, but somebody transforms into a bird. I don't know if it was Zeus or the water bearer or something, but it is an element in that story. So that's there. We have that in the background. We have Venus going retrograde. We have Venus in Capricorn. We are in Sagittarius season, about to enter Capricorn. We've got the 1212 portal. Now, that on its own is this big, wild, weird energy that is happening right now. And we're going to feel the effects of that energy until probably, yeah, easily the end of February, if not a little longer than that. And it's not just this one day. So if you wanted to do some sort of ritual, you still have time. You could probably still do it at some point this week. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, there's probably a reason for that as well. The last several months have been bonkers, like absolutely intense. So there was a card I pulled out of these guys here, the Spirit Oracle deck. And when it comes to these, I just let a card fly out. I shuffle until something literally flies out. So there it is. I put them in upside down. So the card that flew out was Karma. Karma. So there she is, swimming in this, cosmic soup, seeing a reflection of herself there. Now, if you are following that twin flame kind of journey or soulmate journey or divine masculine, divine feminine kind of energies going on, this can apply in that way. It can also apply to other things in general that are karmic lessons, karmic cycles. If you find yourself repeating things over and over and over again, and I don't mean repeating yourself like telling your kids, did you brush your teeth? Did you put your thing? No, I don't mean that. I don't have to do that anymore, thankfully. But repeating life lessons, repeating relationships, people showing up again, themes, and you keep thinking, I'm so done with this. Why does it keep showing up? Karma, karmic lessons. So just to recap, if you have or haven't been following us for a while, and I say us because I also do the podcast with Millie once a month, the Astro Tarot forecast, go all the way back to May of last year, and then earlier this year, March, and then May, June, and then August going into September. Then October, we had Mercury retrograde again. And then all the planets started to go direct. And everybody thought, and I said this last time too, everybody thought November was going to be cool. if you didn't deal with your stuff, it's going to deal with you. In this particular case, what we're getting now with the portal, and the runes are backing that up, and the star is backing that up. This is what it says. I'm just going to read it to you right off the back here. It says, someone from the past reemerges in your life. This gives you the opportunity to handle things differently than you did before. Stand firmly in your power, yet stand also in the light of love. The universe is presenting you with a fresh opportunity to clear away any lingering karma linked to this relationship. So you didn't deal with stuff. You repeated, whether it was a person, multiple people, the same issue in different configurations. That's this. That's what this is. Okay, so get that out of the way. What was on the bottom of the deck? And this is really serendipitous as well. What was on the bottom of the deck? This is the Tarot of Mystical Moments. Okay. This magician has a snow goose. Now, I did an audio the night before, or the afternoon before, the eclipse, the solar eclipse. It's just an audio. I didn't make it public. I might make it public. If you want to hear it, let me know. Send me a message. That snow goose, or the goose, was this deck of cards. I was doing a variety of things all at the same time, killing some time between work and a physical in-person meeting I had to go to. I had YouTube on in the background. I was shuffling cards. I was looking out the window. I was listening to stuff, thinking stuff, asking for a message. Everything converged and something really cool happened. The goose was there. The goose represents love. And that overlapped the feeling that was going on that week, which was people were confused. They were in a battle between their head and their heart. They didn't know which to use. They didn't know when to use what. They were thinking when they should have been feeling. They were feeling when they should have been thinking. So it sounds simple, but it's not. People get those mixed up all the time. When they actually have to apply it, they screw up big time. We all do. I do. Everybody does. So it's to be a little more aware of eliminating that conflict by using the head and the heart in the right place. So I want to draw your attention to numbers as well. So we're in this 1212 portal. We also have this magician. This particular magician has a goose. So we're carrying over that theme from last week. We also have the star. The star is the water bearer, and sometimes it's depicted as this fancy bird. Okay. As I was thinking about the 1212 portal energy, I did a rune cast. So the runes that came out were past, present, future, like this. Gifu, okay, which is gift. It's also a rune of love, okay? That's the immediate past. The present, we have Iwaz. That's the yew tree. Then the future, we have Fehu, which is cattle, prosperity. It's prosperity because it's something that regenerates itself. Okay, keep that in mind. It's not like currency in the way that we know it. Now, the influence of the people around you on the situation, they have a direct interest in a positive or negative sense on you in the situation. And we have ansas, which is communication. So all those things converging, karmic relationships, karmic issues, Venus going retrograde, the soulmate cycle, twin flame cycle. This is communication. This is people maybe getting fed up and finally speaking their truth. So sometimes that's not easy, which is why people lie all the time, because it's easy and they don't want to upset anybody or whatever. So answers is literally the mouth, and it's that symbol there, like that. It's like the open mouth. It's words, it's communication, but it can also be nurturing. It's also the place where you are fed. Okay. Now the universe acts on you in a neutral fashion. It responds only to frequencies. It responds to maybe fate or destiny, but you can't really influence it in that way, you know, or I should say, you can influence it. It doesn't really, it just does its thing. It just responds like math. And I often say it's like the weather, kind of, you know, you plan for a picnic on a Thursday and it happens to rain. It didn't rain to, do something bad to you on purpose. So there we actually have Berkana, which is giving birth to something. And it's not necessarily like in its literal sense. It could be, but it's all of this culminating period. You are finally ready. The universe is saying, here you go. Here is the manifestation of all of that work. So again, if you didn't do the stuff you were supposed to do and deal with all that karma and thinking, oh, I dealt with that, or that was a long time ago, or whatever, just because it hasn't happened in a while means that I've actually dealt with it. No. All of that, ready to give birth. Boom. Okay. The outcome is Wunjo, joy. So optimism, outcome, joy. And the Magician. So you have the power to influence the universe in the sense that if you put out a certain frequency, a mathematical equation, the universe will respond accordingly. It doesn't respond from however it feels. It responds in mathematical precision to what it is that you create. Okay, so now there's all these little pieces all over the place here. There was a flea. I saw a flea earlier on my book, and it was the strangest thing because I do have animals, but they don't have fleas. It was just this random flea, and it was crawling along my book, and I picked it up and I squished it. And then I went and looked it up, and it was about rebirth. It was about being overwhelmed and wanting to hide away somewhere, make yourself small and hide away in a dark little place and find a way to rebirth yourself. Okay. Now, there is this card flew out. We'll put it over here. It's a little better. So the Tarot of Mystical Moments, same deck. And this is the 10 of Pentacles, end of a cycle. It's also a number 1. 10 is a 1, 1 and a 0. This is also a 1. Okay. There's more of these coming. Just making you pay attention to the numbers. So we have a 1 and a 1. That's 11. Okay. So we've got all the years marked in this tree. This old guy reminds me of Father Time. There's like history of family here, old buildings. And then there's all of this new growth and blossoms. So end of a cycle, new cycle beginning, manifesting something, but you're still carrying all this with you, the good and the bad. This is generational stuff. Okay, so all of your cells, all of that renewal, but you're still carrying the old information with you. And it's up to you to discern which information you want to keep as you birth yourself forward, as you go through this rebirth cycle, this karmic cycle. Okay. So one of the other themes that have come up is this feeling of the human experience is about suffering. And that's like a Buddhist philosophy that when the soul incarnates in this three-dimensional plane, one of the primary things, if not the primary thing, is to transcend suffering. And in our modern Western world, people are under the misconception that we're supposed to be happy all the time. And there's a really beautiful quote, which I will try and find and put in the description box when I upload this, about seeking happiness. And happiness is not a thing that you try to attain, it's a thing that you are. It's a conscious choice. And so what I have seen lately, especially, this has come to my awareness, that people who are faced with, on a daily basis, I would say, suffering, or the reminder of suffering on a daily basis, where even their most basic needs involve a challenge, something arduous, something that's not easy, something that really requires a lot of effort. It's not simple, easy, pleasant. And when I see them transcending that suffering and being lighthearted in face of that, being loving and kind and healing, it's amazing. And they seem to have, because they are face to face with suffering almost every moment of their day, they transcend it. Their understanding of it is much greater than people who are not experiencing that, who only, seems like they are only experiencing suffering when some major catastrophic thing happens. And I'm trying to phrase this very clearly because I don't want it to be misconstrued, is what I'm saying. So in that process, how we transcend suffering is through compassion, empathy, laughter, love, nurturing, self-care, all of those things. Communication, clear, authentic communication. So it goes back to our runes, all of those things, being authentic, having integrity, being accountable, having compassion, having empathy, being objective, knowing when to act from your heart or act from your thoughts. Don't overthink. Don't be all up in your head. All of those themes are running through this cycle. Okay. Let that stew in there for a bit. So then I pulled out 3 cards for this portal. Kind of like a past, present, I can't speak, past, present, and future in a way, but it's kind of just like a little to what brought us here and a little to where we're going. Now, okay. This particular deck, the artist, she created what were typically portrayed as a male figure in the deck. So all of the kings and the emperor, she drew as female characters. And then she went back and redrew a more typical, I guess, masculine male figure. So, but she sent them all, they're all in the same deck, and you can choose which ones you want. Well, I kept them all in there just for the whatever. Okay, so keep that in the back of your mind. Now, Pentacles. Okay, these are material things. So again, we had Fehu in our runes, and that's about prosperity, and it's connected to the earth, and it's also generational. So we have all the cards that I'm getting here. If they were not in the major arcana, they are pentacles for a change. They're not swords. We had swords and swords and swords, and mental agony, agony, anguish, heartache, overthinking, nightmares, depression, all that stuff. We've had that nonstop for months now. And now we have the Ace of something, the Ace of Pentacles. So it's not just financial, it's material, it's tangible stuff. It's the earth, the stuff that comes out of the earth. Everything comes out of the earth. Everything comes out of the earth, Okay. Other things come out of the water, and other things come out of the air. But those things that are most tangible, like where we put our house, where we put our feet, where we live most of the time, where we act, how we move and go through places, most of what we consume, you know what I mean? Okay, it's the earth. And even the water, it is sitting in the earth. I'm talking with my hand so much, I'm flinging cards around. Okay, and it's the Ace of Pentacles, the beginning cycle. Aces are ones. So we had the Magician, a 1. We had the 10, which is a 1, and a 0, which is a 1. And now we have the Ace, 1 again. So full circle, full circle. You beginning to get it? I can't make this up. All this stuff just shows up. Okay. Now, been following the soulmate cycle, twin flame thing, karmic partner business. We have the King of Pentacles and the divine counterpart, the Queen of Pentacles. And doesn't matter the gender of these cards. I don't mean to do this when I'm talking. Okay. So this is one of those kings that is portrayed by a female figure. Okay. King and Queen of Pentacles. Divine couple. Earthy, grounded, stable, all those things. Now, earthy, grounded, stable. The card at the bottom of the deck, when I pulled those out, 4 of Wands. The 4 of Wands was traditionally the marriage card. There's often a little thing, like a little, what do they call that thing? It's escaping me. A Jewish marriage ceremony. So just imagine there's a little thing, a little canopy over this. Can't remember what it's called. It's also representational of 1111. So see, 1, 1, 1, 1. So we had 1, 1, 1, and now we have 11, 11. You're on the right track. Everything is going through a karmic cycle. As difficult as it has been, your life, something is about to give birth to something. You're about to move through literally this portal. We're in the 12-12 portal. Okay. What else? I think that's it. That's a lot to absorb. So, my goodness. Okay. So we go back to, we have karma. We have Father Time sitting here and all your ancestral stuff. Everything from yourselves to your wealth, to your knowledge, your children, your grandparents. Okay. Then all the runes, which I'll just fling them around. Okay. We have our runes, and we have our magician with the goose. And send me a message if you want me to post that. Divine counterparts star for the week. So there you go. 12-12 portal. You got to go do your stuff. It's going to be good. It's all coming together. You're going to be free of all the stuff finally. All that purging that you did in November, you're coming through the other side. And this really positive energy that is not blind optimism, it's going to last if you keep on taking those little steps with energy going forward. The universe matches it mathematically. It's very impersonal, so it's not for or against you. So you send out that vibration and you will receive exactly what you're putting out. All right, so that is it for today. I'm going to do a regular weekly that's not about the 12-12 energy, and I will do that tomorrow. All right, have a great whatever 12-12 zappy energy day.